Hi, my name is Dr. David Oliver, I'm a chiropractor, and today we're going to go through how to do the cat-cow effectively. The cat-cow is a great stretch for your low back. It's probably one of the #1 stretches I show all my patients to do. The majority of us spend most of our days sitting at our computers, sitting in our cars, and we don't get to move the spine enough. And this is a very effective way to do that, and it's very safe to do, even with acute low back conditions. What I'm going to show you today is the most effective way to do it. I'm also going to show you a really good variation on this stretch that can actually target the upper back as opposed to the lower back, which is obviously a very restricted area on most people that sit all day long. So let's go ahead and let's go through this exercise. The most important movement, or the thing to grasp initially with this that I find most people have the hardest time to do, is actually where the movement originates. It's actually going to come from your pelvis and your hips. So if you were to start just in a kneeling position and you're going to just basically tilt your pelvis anteriorly and posterior, or front and back, you're going to feel that motion that we want to get. So it's right here, and if we tuck our pelvis under, basically stick your butt backwards, you'll get a curve in your low back. Or if you tilt it the opposite way, you bring your pelvis forward, you're going to flatten your low back. That's the motion we're going to do, but we're going to do it in the all fours position. So we want to go down into all fours. Essentially, your knees should be directly under your hips, and your hands should be directly under your shoulders. You don't want to be out here. You want to stay in a nice neutral position. We're going to start that movement again from our hips. So we're going to tilt that hip forward, and that's going to increase the curvature in your low back. At the same time, you're going to have your head extend backwards. And then we're going to reverse that. So our head is going to move forward as our back moves up into this position. This is what is known as the cat portion. You're stretching up like a cat. So you're getting a really good tuck of your pelvis. You're pushing up through your chest, expanding your shoulder blades, and keeping your head down. So as we move down, we drop the belly down. We're going to tilt the head backwards. This is what they call the cow position. So we're oscillating back and forth between that cat stretch, spread those shoulder blades apart, and then we're going to go back down, drop your belly, and drop your head back. So that's into the cow. And we're going to repeat. So nice and slow through these movements. If you hit a point that doesn't feel comfortable, you stop and you move the other direction. So again, you're looking to slowly move between these positions. So into that cat, down into the cow, and you're just going nice and slow, and you're going to try and repeat this 10 to 15 times. Try to maintain normal breathing. You don't have to breathe in or out in any particular order. You're just trying to maintain normal breathing, and this should be a very relaxing, and it should actually feel good. As with almost all exercises, position and form is crucial. So we're going to go through a couple variations and things that you should not do or you should look out for to see if you're doing wrong. You can have someone else observe you doing this to make sure you're doing it correctly, because a lot of times people don't realize that they're doing it improperly. So the first thing, the easiest thing to pay attention to is position. So you want those hands, again, directly under those shoulders. You don't want them in front of you, and you don't want them behind. So you want them directly under your shoulder joints, and the same with the knee. Knee should be directly under your hip. So position is crucial. The other thing that I tend to see with most people that they do wrong is the movement. So instead of moving up and down, many people start to add in some forward and back motion. So many people will start to move forward and back. So you don't want to see any movement like this. That's not the idea. The idea is just a general spinal stretch, which is up and down. So again, up, getting most of that movement from tucking that pelvis under you posteriorly, and then dropping it down, basically sticking your butt out. So it's an up and down motion. It's not a forward and back motion. This stretch is extremely effective for low back pain patients. Now, it's really important that they adhere to certain rules when they do this exercise. You don't want to be pushing through a lot of pain. Some people, when they do stretches, they do exercises, they think, I got to break through that pain, or the more pain I get, the better. I can really push through it. That's not the idea with this exercise. You're supposed to maintain the pain-free range of motion, and after time, after doing this repeatedly, that should actually expand. So if we're into this stretch and we start to go up and we hit a point where it starts to really bother us and it feels uncomfortable on our back, the idea is not to power through that. We want to stop at that point and then reverse and go the opposite direction. Some patients I have initially that have really acute low back pain, they're only moving this much. And that's okay. As they do that over the course of a few days, that range of motion should slowly start to expand, and eventually we should get normal, pain-free ranges of motion. But if you sit there and you power through that pain and you really try to break through it, you can actually inflame those tissues and make things worse, and you're really not doing anything effective. So stick through the pain-free range when you do this exercise. So the cat-cow is an excellent overall spinal mobility stretch. And like I said, I teach all my patients that stretch, but a lot of patients will come into me, or a lot of people will have restriction actually in their upper back or their thoracic spine, and it has to do with those extended periods of sitting that they have. So there's a modification to the cat-cow we can do where we really target the upper back more, and we can really push through the ranges of motion that we need in that area. So instead of being in this all fours position here, we're actually just going to sit back. You're going to sit your butt to your heels, and you're going to bring your hands right in front of your knees. With your toes, this again does not matter. You can be in a tucked position or in a flat position. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. I prefer to be in a slightly tucked position with the toes to get a little bit of stretch out of the bottom of my foot. So from this position, now that we're sitting down, your low back, they call it lumbar locked. It's not moving anymore. It's very hard for us to tilt through our low back. Most of this motion is going to come through our thoracic spine or our upper back. So the same movements apply. So now we're going to be pushing through our chest and trying to expand and push up. So the motion is going to look like this. Your chest is going to come up and your head's going to go down. And then you're going to reverse that. You're going to allow your chest to come forward and through while your head comes back, and you reverse that. At this point, you really want to feel those shoulder blades try to spread apart and really throw your thoracic spine up. You really want to push through and then reverse it. And as you come down, you almost want to picture someone with a string pulling your chest forward and up, and then back the other way. So push through that T-spine, that upper back, and then reverse. It's almost like you're howling at the moon here at the end. You're just getting that chest as high as you can, and you're just moving. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please like it and share it with a friend.